Hello, this is Broly SS Guide, and I'm back with another video. This video, I'd like to talk about some ways that, well, a way, not some, but a way that developers can possibly make Sony turn back their opinions on physical. If, let's just say if the, second and third party developers that's not tied to Sony skip Sony. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if they just start skipping them completely and putting their games only on like Xbox and Nintendo and PC, and act like Sony doesn't even exist? And you know what I'm saying? Like, think about it like this: even though these developers skip Sony, and Sony has a big player base like that, you gotta keep in mind PC has an even bigger player base, so they can put their money in digital on PC to make their money back from the money they're missing from Sony. You see what I'm saying? And the physical copies can go to other platforms like Xbox and Nintendo. Because remember, Sony said a while back that their boxes only are just a box, and without any games going towards it, they don't. It's not anything special, right? So if the developers, second and third party, start skipping their platform, that means Sony would have less games to put out, right? Besides their very own first party games or their own second party games if they had their own second party studios. But other than that, as far as like non related to them, the developers, the well's gonna just be pretty much drying up, if you know what I'm saying. So that means more people will be buying other consoles besides theirs. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a good idea, in my opinion. I think that by the developers skipping Sony, less people will be thinking about buying their platform. Especially if remember now, Xbox does own Call of Duty. Let's just say Asher Summer does say, you know what, we have a disk drive and we own Call of Duty. We could do bundles with Call of Duty. Let's make it exclusive. The Xbox, look, Xbox, Nintendo, and PC, and no PlayStation. You see what I'm saying? They can make it exclusive to every other platform besides PlayStation and get money. Or they can keep it up to Nintendo too. It's like just make it just see they gotta sell. They gotta sell, right? So it's gotta be PC and also Switch too. If Switch 2 can run it, right? But they can leave PlayStation out of it. And they would get a whole lot more fans on their side. You know what Sony's relying on right now? They're relying on the player base of Call of Duty. That's what they're relying on. That's why they feel like they're not going nowhere. Because Call of Duty is most high is most played game on PlayStation, also Grand Theft Auto. Now, Grand Theft Auto, I don't know, that's the biggest game in the world though. Dang, I don't know, man, because Grand Theft Auto is way bigger than Call of Duty. Dang, it is. Um, yeah, but still, Grand Theft Auto also will be on Xbox too and also other platforms. Not sure about Switch too, but yeah. But anyway, I think it's a good idea for it to work, and I think that it will put fear into Sony to say, you know what, yeah, we're losing a lot of customers to other companies, and we're not even getting our second, third party games no more, and we're pretty much low in console sales now, and we might have to go ahead and start putting disc out. I think that's like one of the best ways to do it. For like I said, for the developers to go on strike against Sony and not put their games on PlayStation. But I think there's a very slim chance that'll happen because a lot of them feel as though Sony's like the best way to sell their games. But in those cases, then that you will not be seeing a lot of these developers saying, you know what, we won't be multiplied. So even though if they skip Sony, they still be multiplied by putting the games on Switch 2, PC, and Xbox. Just leave PlayStation out of it. And that would pretty much kind of force Sony into saying, you know what, yeah, we gotta put these games on disc because people are buying more disc on the other platforms than they are on our platform. That's what happened is it's going to drive up disc sales on other platforms. It's going to be less sales on the PlayStation platform, less console sales on the PlayStation platform. Keep that in mind. The PS6 will die. I know I've been the one saying, "Well, I love my PS6. I want to get the well, I love the PS6. I want to buy that PS6." I ain't said, "Well, I don't say that I loved it," because I said that I wanted it, and I was in need for a PS6 because of the damn PS5 Pro. But anyway, I'm at a point now. It's like, by them doing this, it's pretty much killing the PS6 for the sales, in my opinion, for a disc drive. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Like, hopefully that does happen. We need, like a backup plan. And also we need like the FTC to step in as well. Some more law enforcement, lawmakers to check into things. Also check into things with Hiroki Toki with that inside trading, if that's possible. He did that. And if so, that's a jail time for that dude if that happens. It's him and another guy, I forgot his name, but there were two of them in that company that did that at the same time period. That sounds fishy. Sorry. But anyway, guys, that's my video. Um, how you guys feel about what I said about the developers could possibly skip Sony with second and third party games and pretty much drown up the well for Sony having new games coming out for them. That way, it can shift the games over to PC, well not PC, well PC, Nintendo, and Xbox. You know what I'm saying? So how y'all guys feel about that? You feel as though it's a good strategy that strong arm them to make the disc version, or you feel like it doesn't even matter because Sony's just gonna rely on their first party games, which again, that really comes out to like once a blue moon. Keep that in mind. You get a game from Sony from a first party studio, you don't see it again till like 8 years later, 7 years later. Remember, only one title a year. Remember that too, right? One or two titles a year. Then it just said one title a year though. So keep that in mind as well. So hey, we shall see. Continue to fight. I will continue buying my physicals. A little bit of digital here and there, but mostly physical. Big title games, and also do small title games as well. Cause like you can go to GameStop and find small games you never played before for pretty cheap prices. That's what I'm gonna end up start doing. Like buy me a stock up on physical games. The damn digital get on my nerve, but the physical games. And also I'm gonna do my PS5 and also my PS3. I'm gonna stock one of those games as well too for my PS3. I'm stocking the hell up on games, bro. Cheap, new, whatever. I don't care, dog. When I see a game that interests me at a GameStop, just something I never tried before, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna build up my library of my PlayStation, and also my Xbox 360 is gone. But I can't start buying games for my Xbox One as well, physical games for that. So yeah, I do got an Xbox. I forgot I had an Xbox One. I got it somewhere in the closet or somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. But yeah, I'm gonna start playing my old consoles again. Might end up rebuying an Xbox 360 as well, man. Like go back in time. You know what I mean? I mean, I did want the PS6, but no disc drive. I kind of don't want to buy it. All my consoles had disc with it, and I think it's just weird that people chose the. Well, I can't say it's weird because you know why? Because some people that probably just couldn't afford a disc version at the time period. And then like what happens is they grew into the oh well, it's like my cell phone. Like I don't have to worry about losing no pictures or because phone you got pictures on your phone and stuff and music on it, and they're treating the console like it's a cell phone. Everything is digital. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same concept. So people attach to that more because like especially in the newer generation, kids growing up these days, is everything's just swipe, 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 swipe. They're attached to a screen that just scrolls instead of a console that just slides into this. But same thing about it, you gotta keep in mind too that there was a lot of physical consoles sold as well. Sorry, there's a lot of physical consoles that was sold as well too. So hopefully these kids will be like, well, I can slide a disc in. It's not that hard to do. You know what I'm saying? Like Getting up and sliding this in doesn't take but a few seconds, you know. But anyway, guys, that's my little rant and my little thoughts about things of developers possibly skipping Sony, giving Sony, making Sony bend the knee to possibly give us some more disc games. So anyway, also hopefully the FTC steps in as well, and also more law investigators can come in and check out Hiroki Toki, check out the owning our games. See, when I do my video, I don't talk about just um. Okay, well, this is me, right? When I talk about like, these kind of things, I'm not gonna sit here and mock people for like being upset about Sony. Mocking them and saying you're just going out there, you're yelling for no reason. You're yelling for a reason. We're all doing it. Cause look, 'cause I know I'm about to set the video up. I'm saying this is the thing, right? But people to sit here and say that you're not gonna put no kind of damage on Sony, if it's true or not, at least you're trying. Well, at least we are trying, okay? And on top of that, if that was the case, then if we're not doing no kind of damage, why in the world would they start giving out 50% discounts for the people that sit there and cancel their pre-orders? Why would they even care about the 50? Why put out a 50% discount? And for the people to cover that part of the story of what happened, why aren't they focusing on that part? Instead, they want to twist it to be like, well, oh yeah, Sony want to reel you back in. They want to reel you back in. Here you go, 50% discount. No, they did it because the person actually unsubscribed them. That's a fear type of situation. They don't want it to happen. They want you back in. You know what I'm saying? Because if it didn't matter to them so much of a 1%, why even bother putting out a 50% discount? That's showing me that Sony does care. So these little stories coming up by Jason Schreier and other people saying, "Oh, Sony don't care about this, Sony don't care about that." So far, I'm seeing that they do care. Like Hiroki Toki, he dipped out there. I don't know. He's the one. He's all the causes in the first place. Hiroki Toki is the main reason why we're doing this, as far as this price hike. But I'm sorry, the digital stuff. He wants to maximize everything to the maximum to the profits. And by the way he's doing this is one of the ways he can do it by maximizing the sales and digital only. Every time I hear this nigga talk out his mouth, I want to maximize this. I want to maximize profit in that. I want to maximize this. I want to maximize that. Maximize, maximize, maximize. That's all he talk about. Maximize, maximize, maximize. I heard him. He doesn't care about gaming at all. I haven't heard him not one time say anything about gaming the way he like about it. Developers or how the developers are. Our studios or this game right here. I like this game or nothing like that. Nothing. Even with Jim Ryan, same way, nothing like that with him either. I ain't gonna lie, like Jim Ryan. But at the same time, I never seen Jim Ryan go this far to the extreme like this dude Hiroki Totoki. I never seen Jim Ryan go this far in the stream to talk like this far, maximizing everything and just money, 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 money. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy is 10 times worse than Jim Ryan. I'm sorry. Jim Ryan was alright, but at the same time, let the games do the talking. But this dude right here, this is nah. I just no. He has to go, bro. And whoever's even in charge of him, they need to go too. I'm sorry, they need to go. Because it seems like ever since Japan has really taken over that company now. I mean, they own the company. I'm saying that, but I'm saying is like, as far as these main CEOs now, that's not American, they have really been like cracking down on us as far as money, penny pinching us to the extreme. So keep that in mind, man. Like I know a lot of people don't like Jim Ryan like that. That's cool. I'm not saying you had to like Jim Ryan like that, but what I am saying is this: it wasn't this bad with Jim Ryan compared to what we have right now. You know what I'm saying? These Japanese developers, these Japanese CEOs and presidents and all that stuff, they wanted all this, and they wanted the last service crap. These PC players that maximize the what do you call it, digital sales. They did that. That's all they did. They used the PC players for all them years to maximize digital sales and make it seem like console players are the ones doing it. Because remember, PC players gotta buy it on digitally. They gotta buy it digitally. So how we don't know the most of those daggone numbers because they come from PC players instead of our own players. And remember, Sony was trying to keep them as kept them as PC players. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, like as PlayStation players. Remember that. So each game that's sold to PC can be considered as a PC it's a PC port under a PlayStation 5 logo. You know what? Oh my god. I mean, I'm surprised anybody really talking about that, like how Sony could be doing that. How we don't know that Sony ain't been doing that? Using all them years from 2020 to 2020 to 2025, 2026, they've been using PC players. And they're all digital. Think about that. They're all digital. That's what pushed the if the look, let's just say the numbers are true, right? If it is true, which I don't think it is, the PC players got a lot to do with it too. I'm not saying that the PC players knew about this is their fault. I'm not saying that. The PC players want to play the game, want to play the game. What I'm saying is Sony could be so shady that they're using the PC numbers of the PlayStation players. Wow. Just to boost those numbers look like came from our side, from the PlayStation library side. I'm sorry, from the PlayStation console side. Well, they probably added that and the PC players included to give all those kind of numbers. Wow. You know what I'm saying? They are dirty. I'm sorry, dog. Like Sony is very, very dirty. They are very dirty, bro. You know how they can just easily just switch it around from like PC to PlayStation and make it seem like they're all in time twined into one. Just like how they do with that's what they're doing. Oh my god. It was PC all along. That's why they wanted to be on PC so badly. They want to maximize the digital sales to make it seem like, oh yeah, look, see, PC players, it's not PC, but digital all selling police digital, even though it didn't. But yeah, it was supposed to help them like increase their sales and digital. That's why they did that. That's why we see Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2 on PC. We started seeing games like God of War and the Ragnarok on PC. It wasn't to bring them over to PlayStation. They didn't care about that. It was to increase those digital sales to inflate it to be like it's bigger than what it is from the PC side, add it over to PlayStation to inflate those numbers a little bigger than what it is. They're liars, bruh. Wow, they're liars. And they used the PC player for 6 straight years, and they're still using them. They're using them to what do you call it? What do you call it? Multiplayer. All right, guys, I gotta go. Anyway, this bro, this God signing out. One love. And also, think about what I said though. Am I right or wrong? Do you feel as though they could have used the PC players' numbers and put that in as saying, "Look, this is the number we got from our PlayStation fan base," and they're using that as part of the console side of the thing, and saying it really is from the PC as well to include that to maximize it. They're full of it. Man, anyway, I gotta go, guys. Peace.